Okay, full disclosure, I'm doing this for the 5 more points on a write-up I've already done about increasing student engagement at the application level of Bloom's or above that could not have been done without technology. And I'm going to tell you about a professionalism unit that I set up. It is over in itslearning. I've set up all of my units in itslearning. I use it quite a bit in English 4, which is nice. So you can see here, this is how I've actually set up my itslearning. It's a little different than it looks just out of the box, if you will. I've deleted a bunch of things. There's actually only 2 things active on this page. There is a text box or what is it called exactly? It is called a rich content box. So I have a rich content box over here with just my permanent information, and then I have another rich context box here for my updates. And every day I come in and I update this, and so you can see it goes all the way back to the beginning. So if a kid is absent, not only does it have what they missed, it also has direct links to their various assignments. So this one would take them directly to the reading assignment that we did for this day that actually I wrote up in a different area, but that's not for now. One thing we were going to show though is the professionalism unit. So the professionalism unit was one that did show up on the home page here. It was a couple weeks ago or last week. They were instructed to finish the professionalism unit, and so you see here the links going to various things. But this was the unit page itself for the professionalism unit, and I've moved some of the pieces around, and now it's frozen, I think, because I shared it with some folks in Springs. But over here on the right, you see the steps to complete the unit, and I had it all planned out ahead of time with all the different links and whatnot in there so that the students could go and see it. I've also, my problem of practice this year is to increase my options to include advanced and standard options so that students can work at an increasing level of rigor if they choose to. So here's a standard option on resumes and an advanced option on resumes. Or actually, those are the cover letters. There was standard and advanced on resumes as well. And then step 5, this little piece was originally at the top. And then over here, these are the explanations for the various steps. So working backwards, step 5 at the top now, because that's what they did last. That is, the rubric was linked here so they could see it. They sent their cover letter and their resume to me after working through those, and they had the email, and here are the instructions going into Office 365, etc. Step 4, they actually had to fill out a job search assignment where they pulled up a job description and matched the various keywords and the skills that are required for that with their own resume. So it was kind of the synthesizing part of the assignment where they looked at the resume, they looked at the job requirements, and they put those 2 pieces together because that is, as we know, what a cover letter does. So now they know that as well. And here you see the standard and the advanced options on that. So this was the unit that I put together, and lots of different links and resources. The one thing that I would do differently on this, when you go to add a box to these, and I can't add any more right now because it's archived, I guess. But when you go to add a box, it does not give you a choice to tree link inside this particular type of page, and that was frustrating to me because I wanted to link to some of the activities I had set up for them to submit things in. And now I've learned that you can do that. You just have to do it by actually opening it in another page over here, opening a link in a new tab, and then posting the URL in the same way you would post a regular URL. So I'll show you that in a different one since I can't edit this one right now. But to set one of these up, you would go to Planner. And in your planner, you see here's my professionalism unit. I extended the due date. I don't really get to do lesson plans anymore that are 11 days long. But down in the resource link, I added this resource as a new resource. And it was a page. So when you create the page, it actually creates what amounts to a little web page in and of itself. So I have a page for the professionalism unit, and I have a page here in my Castles and Camelot unit. This one is active. This is what we're actually doing these days. You can see that I have a page that will be showing up tomorrow, actually. Forgive me. It is not for today. I need it for this week. Okay, so now I have both my plans. Go away, professionalism unit, Camelot. So starting Wednesday and Thursday, we are going to talk about the reading workshop for Castles and Camelot, which is another page. So this is another page that I set up in exactly the same way. This one I can still make changes to, so that's why I wanted to pull it up. But you can see that I have made a box. You just add a content box to add something, and you have a choice. You can add a rich content box, which is what I add 90% of the time. The files I've added over here. That is so that the students have access to the planning document that will be due. the independent project options that are due, and then the rubric itself. So they have that right there front and center. And then this is, I always throw a picture in there because it looks nicer. And then I give them their job is to select assignments, and y'all will recognize this. It's a menu. So I have my standard options again for the different stories that they can be pulling from, and I also have some advanced options for those who want to challenge themselves. And you can use the same tale for multiple projects. So then here is the list of the options that they have. So they can read, or there's some research options as well. So you can see they're worth different amounts of points. So it's like a little menu, and they add up their various points. Here's one that's 70, 20, there's an 80%, a literary analysis essay is worth 90, video summaries up to 100, 90, 100. And there's also research options for those who are, over Arthurian legends and want to do something different. They can do a pretty substantial research project on chivalry, or, a little less substantial piece on the rules for the round table, or create a number of baseball cards over just some of the various characters and whatnot. Mobile, same thing, so that they end up with a tally of 100 points or up to 100 points. And it's all contained right here. All the instructions, the links to the stories itself, the various rubrics and instructions. This will be the first assignment they do. It is actually a planning document. I'm showing you the unit anyway. They have to choose which projects they're going to do, how many points it totals up to, and because our students are still learning to manage their time, they will have to actually plot out what they are going to do each day in class so that everything is done in a timely manner. And as you can see, it ends on 10/14. That just happens to be the last day of the 9 weeks, so this is in effect going to be their 9 weeks exam. So I think that is it for this one. I can help you set up pages if you want. It is actually pretty straightforward and simple once you learn how to do it. And it does keep things very nicely contained if you have units and projects and menus and things like I do. So thanks a lot, guys.